Hello. Got another treat for you all people here at the wonderful Maldon Folk Festival, and that is a band that's played here a number of times over the years, and the whole festival holds together by the fact people have put in so much of themselves and donated so much of their time. Blackwood played here for 10 years. The first 10 times they played here they didn't charge, and as soon as they started charging they didn't get any more gigs. No, that's not true. They did. Anyway, Blackwood, they're locals as well as blow-ins.
Bloody tree-hugging, shardy-sipping blow-ins.
Big hand for Blackwood, everybody.
Say I had special treatment, treated not that bad, taken from my mother cheek and from everything I had. White man in blue, he broke up childhood spell. I spent my first night away from home with my brother in a prison cell. You don't know what it's like, you don't know how it's been. My place gone forever in this land of broken dreams. You don't know what it's like, you don't know how it's been. My place gone forever in this land of broken dreams. Sleeping in his king-size bed, no black boy on his wife's white sheets. It was too difficult, he said. Mrs. brought some food down, said we'd have a new home soon. I looked past her at the light while my brother howled at the moon. You don't know what it's like, you don't know how it's been. My place gone forever in this land of broken dreams. You don't know what it's like, you don't know how it's been. My place gone forever in this land of broken dreams. I came in from the island, looking for a brand new start. I don't know the language, and I don't feel that smart. All grown up now, oh, the old girl passed away. She died of a broken heart when the white fella stole the kids away. You don't know what it's like, you don't know how it's been. My place gone forever in this land of broken dreams. You don't know what it's like, you don't know how it's been. Say you had special treatment, treated not that bad, taken from the mother G and from everything I had. White man in blue, he broke that childhood spell. I spent my first night away from home with my brother in a prison cell. You don't know what it's like. You don't know how it's been. My flesh gone forever in this land of broken dreams. You don't know what it's like. You don't know how it's been. My flesh gone forever in this land of broken dreams. Obviously a song about stolen generation, and we need to remember where we are in Judgerong country. Never ceded, still is, always will be, always has been Judgerong country this, and we're so happy to be back here. And is the Troubadour a happy place for us? It is, isn't it? The only thing missing is Andrew and Heather. I haven't seen them this weekend, so
it was better when the roof was touching your head and dripping water all over you.
But don't worry, Andy, the flies are still flying around your nose and mouth when you're trying to play the whistle and sing.
Back in the day, I don't think my flutes would have been staying upright.
Quickly need to acknowledge that song. That last song was written by Peter Chambers, who is a member of the Bula Bula Bush Band, who is a very big presence in my mind if I think back to old Maldon folk festivals and over the years. One of my all-time absolute favouriteest bands that's ever played in the scene, and they were here many, many years, and it was a big highlight for us, so lovely to keep. Great stuff. And Cal, can we get a bit of that, can we get some of that footage to Ruth, please? Thank you.
We're going to do a song called Quella Man now, which harks back to the Quella era of music, 50s and 60s, coming out of South Africa. The tunes were all played on whistles, humble penny whistles, in a particular way. And this is a song that Harry Belafonte put together and to talk about the Quella era and what happened then.
Casting his eye to the left and to the right, looking for a place where he can duck outside. Here comes the gumba gumba rumbling up the road, looking for somebody to scoop up a load. A big fat cabbie hanging off of the back, scooping up the stragglers and giving them a whack. Come on boys, jump inside. Come on boys, we're gonna take you for a ride. It's an excursion where you don't have to pay. At the end of the line, you find a place to stay. Quella, Quella, you gotta listen to the man. Quella, Quella, everybody jump in the van. Quella, Quella, you gotta listen to the man. Quella, Quella, everybody jump in the van. It's a complimentary meal. Maybe check it through, they can make a deal. If you want to play music out on the street, be sure you got your tackies tied to your feet. You better make sure that you stay out of sight, cause the checklist man has got a big appetite. discussion when you don't have to pay. At the end of the line, you find a place to stay. Well, you gotta listen to the man. Well, everybody jump in the van. Well, you gotta listen to the man. Well, everybody jump in the van. Come on, boys, jump inside. Come on, boys, I want to take you for a ride. It's an excursion where you don't have to pay. At the end of the line, you find a place to stay. Well, you gotta listen to the man. Well, everybody jump in the van. Are you listening? Are you listening now? You gotta listen to the man. Come on, listen. Come on, listen to me. Everybody jump in the van.
Moving right along now, it's something completely different. Has anyone seen the band Fluke in Australia playing extraordinary high level Celtic and neo-Celtic music? Well, a flute player, the main man in there, Brian Finnegan, is a great composer of tunes, and a lot of them have come through Fluke, but this particular tune came from another band he plays in, which I got their CD completely by accident, and we ripped this tune off. It's called The Crazy Clarinetist, and you'll be very happy to know that none of us is going to try and play the clarinet.
listeners. I can't tell you how thrilled we are to be here. It has been so much fun getting back together, so we'd really like to thank the festival for having us, for inviting us. I don't know if we're the only band that last played 20 years ago on the program. Would that be right? Would that be about right? And thanks so much to Misha and Jamie on the sound there. Doing a challenging job. This is a song we started learning. We were inspired to learn these songs by falling in love with the music of Latin America, kind of through Andy over here, and then some of us fell literally in love with Latin Americans through the playing of this music. And this was a little song we learned from Machitun. I think we learned from Machitun, from the players. Anyway, they certainly coached me in the language and the meaning, of course. I sing fluent Spanish, but I... Here we go. Pajarillo verde,
When
little
you
green
learn
bird.
them, when you learn them more than 20 years ago, Jane, you sometimes forget where you learned them from.
Pretty close.
Pajarillo verde, como no voy a llorar. Pajarillo verde, como no quieres que llore. Pajarillo verde, como no voy a llorar. Ay, 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 si una sola vida tengo. Pajarillo verde y me la quieren quitar. Ay, 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 si una sola vida tengo. Pajarillo verde y me la quieren quitar. Pajarillo verde, como no quieres que llores. Pajarillo verde, como no voy a llorar. Pajarillo verde, como no quieres que llores. Pajarillo verde, como no voy a llorar. Ay, 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 si los ríos que me quitan, pajarillo verde me los vuelven a pegar. Ay, 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 si los ríos que me quitan, pajarillo verde me los vuelven a pegar. Pajarillo verde, por mucho que tú lo quieras. Pajarillo verde, hay que encuentrar un indio. Pajarillo verde, por mucho que tú lo quieras. Ay, 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 se salta de cangrejos. Pajarillo verde, y eso será cuando llueva. Ay, 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 se salta de cangrejos. Pajarillo verde, y eso será cuando llueva. you can. I know one part of that song is about crickets. You may not have picked that up, but the ABC RN is running ABC Science is running a competition or a voting for your favourite insect at the moment, and crickets is one of them. So perhaps think about it. A small car is parked under the water pipe, and it's a grey Suzuki under the water pipe. Wow. That sounds quite clever to me, but anyway. It's a grey Suzuki with L plates. Please move it.
It's a very thin grey.
Maybe that's a little haiku, do you think?
I'm imagining that's out this way, where there is a standpipe, a water standpipe, which lots of households are dependent on for their household water supplies. So, bad place to park a car. There'd be a big truck with an angry truck driver next to it at this point. We've got 3 Australian tunes. We know these are Australian tunes because Andy wrote the first one, Jane wrote the second one, and I wrote the third one. first one called, Andy?
First one's called Moses Jig.
Moses Jig. Second one is Maggie in the Morning, which Jane wrote for our daughter. It's sort of got a bright side and a dark side.
And anyone who follows Maggie's music will know exactly.
And
She was only a teenager.
And the last one's the Community House, which all of these tunes were composed in Maldon, but except the last one, it was composed in Castlemaine when a student didn't turn up to a fiddle lesson, which was absolutely brilliant because it meant that I had a clear hour to sit and play violin and compose a tune. So it's called the Community House.
Oh, the Moses were a family from Red Cliffs up near Mildura. Still are. They came to the Maldon Folk Festival where their teenage daughter, Kat, met Corinne and Nicola Strading from Gippsland, and that started a very good musical friendship with the Beanies and various other groups. So thank you to Maldon for that little meeting.
And the next song is Australian-ish in that the lyrics are clearly from Australia, as we'll explain in just a minute, but the melody is actually an Irish/Scottish march.
It's an old Irish air.
Yeah.
The translation is The Lovely Fair Ellie, and it's a song collected in the late 1700s by Edward Bunting from a fellow in the north of Ireland. And then a Scotsman got hold of it and called it The Chieftain to the Highlands Bound, and was published with those words. And then it made its way to Australia, where
It accumulated verses, as far as we can tell, along the droving routes, and I learned it from Keith O'Lorry back in the 70s, and I'm sure it has been written down somewhere, but it's not easy to find the lyrics written down. There's a few recorded versions. Anyway, we've got a set of verses that we've been singing for a long time. We eventually were at the Woodford Festival 2005, 6, something like that. We were talking about this song, and a fella came up from the audience and said, my Uncle Orb was a drover, and he used to sing that song, and I've got a few more verses. And so, not exactly droving tradition, but he emailed me these extra verses. And some of them weren't really repeatable, but we salvaged a few lines that appear at the end of this song. So,
Is it worth quickly expanding on Uncle Orb?
Your memory might be better than mine, but
I may be conflating two stories, but
Well,
I believe
that's
Uncle
okay.
Orb was such a successful cattle rustler that the station owners employed him to move their cattle on their behalf. And he was a champion horseman, and his great claim to fame was that he could gallop a horse at full gallop with a stock whip while rolling a cigarette in his other hand.
those Uncle Orb, they don't make them like they used to.
So this is a this is a folk song we're about to do now.
I'm just momentarily pondering what the modern day equivalent of riding a horse full felt rolling. I don't want to think about that. Okay. Yes. Humping Me Drum, it's called. I'm humping me drum from kingdom come to the back of the Milky Way. I boiled me cod on the Cape of York, and I starved last Christmas Day. I swam the Murray, I drank at Cloncurry, where they charge to bar the nip. I've been up the Gulf, where the cattle they doff, and the swatter lets it rip. I danced with Kit when the lights were lit, and with Paul when the dance broke on. I flung me cap on the my old the shearers strike, not wanting a funeral shroud. I back me weight with the flying stake, and I dodged the lynching crowd. Aye. I carried a gun in World War I, then back on the track again. From Omeo to Bendigo, then off to the Bathurst Plain. I shed a few tears through the hungry years, when the jobs they were hard and few. I packed up my bag, my fiddle, my swag, there was nothing else I could do. I'm pumping me drum from Kingdom Come to the back of the Milky Way. I boil me cod on the cave beyond, and I starved last Christmas Day. I've seen and heard upon the world some fine things on my way, oh, but none can compare with seeing you there when I came back home today.
We're going to sing a song from Fay White now, and Fay is known to most of you, I suspect. Wonderful singer. She's in Brisbane at the moment, writing a song up there. But Andy asked Fay to write a song for the inaugural, the very first Maldon Folk Festival choir in about 2000, something like that. Anyway, so she decided to write a song about the wind harps, the bull oaks, the Alacazarina lumini trees that grow around. This is almost the easternmost area where they still are, but they're right through the Western District, and they make a beautiful sound when the wind blows through their needles, reminiscent of that. People call them wind harps. And so this is the story of these precious trees that they were so good for firewood and fencing that they are mostly gone. So there's large tracts of through most of the winter, and now you see little stands of them here and there, remnant stands. But this is a very important tree.
There's a couple on our nature street.
Yeah, thanks to Francis Sincotta, who's been carefully collecting seed and germinating them.
If you drive to Maryborough through Barringup, that road from Barringup to Carisbrook's got a whole line of them out there.
Can I just add a minor aside? Well, it's actually not an aside, it's a continuation of the story. The linguists among you may beg to differ. A couple of weekends ago we were up at the Budge Bim National Park out in Western Victoria, and we did the circuit walk around the rim of the volcano, we got to the top of Budge Bim and started heading down, and right along the edge of the upper lip of the volcano there's a row of casuarinas. And we just got to this point, and it was quite windy, and there was this sound, and it was the wind harps, and it was just magical. And the tree that really got us was not a very big one, it was just there on its own, and it was just shivering, perfectly tuned. I did make a recording, actually. I could play it, but it sounded a bit like, it was quite windy. Anyway, wind harps.
Please join in. I've seen a few of you singing along. Please sing along with as many and as much of these songs and tunes as you wish, and we would love that. Will the casuarina woodland yet survive? When Judgerung country, sigh as the breeze blows by. Wind comes of the western plains, keen when the west winds blow. Songs of old gone wonderland, and the days they used to know. May the old tree lonely in the field have a chance to yet set seed and yield. May we see a change across the plain, with woodlands winding round the grain. We will fence our stock and knock down weeds to create a place for the falling seed, and the seed will spring from autumn rain, and the casuarina woodlands come again. Wind comes of the Wimmera, as a casuarina lumini. Brother Bullock through Judgerung country, sigh as the breeze blows by. Wind comes of the western plains, keen when the west winds blow. Songs of old gone wonderland, and the days they used to know.
When was the last time you sang a song that had alocasia and aluminum on it?
I think Faye is more proud of getting that Latin name into her song than any other single line in all of her songwriting career.
We're going to finish with a song by the wonderful Kev Carmody from Queensland, who sang this song. He kind of wrote it as a bit of a festival. He did it as a live thing with titters, and he didn't often perform it, so we didn't get to hear it live nearly enough. But it's a fabulous song. Freedom. Please join in with this one as well.
Kev specified when he wrote this song that any time the marimba should be played, it should be decorated with really trashy, colourful plastic flowers. Human freedom's fundamental and justice are rights. Equality's that thin line between wrong and right. When the earth is denuded and creatures oppressed, then justice and freedom are put to the test. We say freedom, freedom will come. Welcome freedom. Justice, justice will come. Welcome justice. Freedom, equality, justice are one. If we resist, then justice and freedom will come. We say freedom, freedom will come. Welcome freedom. Justice will come. Welcome justice. The child, the mother earth, the land, the law, the human birth, the spirit child within my womb, the cycle of the earth. We cry freedom. Freedom will come. Freedom. Justice. feeds my spirit, the land is my law. The industrial savages keep the oppressed so poor. Resistance will break the stealth eagle's claw. Peace is much more than the absence of war.
The man-child, the mother earth, the land, the law, the living sun, the creatures and the living plants, all cry out as one they cry, freedom! Freedom will come. Welcome to freedom. Justice! Justice will come. Welcome justice.
Reach out for peace and embrace human love. Brothers and sisters share generations of blood. Freedom will triumph and justice endure. When we struggle united against every war.
The woman child, the mother earth, the land, the law, the human birth, the spirit child within my womb as I come up to crying freedom.
Freedom will come. Welcome freedom. Justice. Justice will come. Welcome freedom. Freedom, equality, justice are one. If we resist, then justice and freedom will come. We say freedom.